Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Nate Branco here, and welcome to episode 25 of Showcase Central, Friday edition. You already know. I got some news for you guys today. We're coming off a great episode from, this was Tuesday's edition, actually, a few days ago. David came on here. He gave his great insights on trade deadlines, his opinions. I did the same with mine. That was probably the best episode we ever did. And it was actually the best episode on this channel. So this is great. We're coming off that. And I got some news for you guys on a Friday, just a quick little episode. And then we all go enjoy the weekend and, see you guys on Monday. So I got some news about a potential superstar may not be returning to his team in the future. We got some suspensions thrown around. We got a team that got swept over the week. And also, we might be seeing an ace return, but to the bullpen? Interesting. So this is something we're actually going to dive into right now. I am going to start off with Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson, the Orioles shortstop, not expected to re-sign with the Baltimore Orioles after the 2028 season. This past offseason, he signed a one-year, $8.5 million contract for the 2026 season, in which avoiding salary cap arbitration. He remains under team control through arbitration and is not scheduled to become an unrestricted free agent until 2029. 8.5 mil is a franchise record for a player in their first year of arbitration eligibility. He is eligible for arbitration in the next 2 years before hitting unrestricted free agency in 2029. I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't know if this is going to work out for him. I mean, Gunnar Henderson, as of right now, he's in the prime of his career. Well, not so much this year. He struggling mightily. His plate discipline is shitty. But years prior, I believe it was 2023 or 24. He was an all-star for that time being, but I feel like he hasn't shown a whole lot of progress this year or just past few years in general, but he's looking long-term. Go figure, Scott Boras is his agent. So you already know right off the bat what he's going to want. Scott Boras is agent, so we all know he's going to command big pay with long-term commitment. Honestly, with him and the Orioles, I believe, are trying to work something out with him, but I don't know if they're going to give him the money that he wants. I believe he's looking for that pay that superstars such as Mike Trout, Vlad Jr., Shohei Ohtani, Juan Soto, just to name a few. I believe he's looking for that type of money. I don't know if he's going to get that. I think he's looking for like 500 mil or such for 14 years. That's the going rumor I heard about for a contract. I'm not so sure. I don't think Baltimore's going to give him that money. I think Baltimore's too cheap for that. We saw what Baltimore did with Pete Alonso this past offseason, but that was like 5 years, and I think it was, 135 mil? But, I mean, that's Pete Alonso. That's pretty much a superstar move. That wasn't anything crazy such as Ohtani and Soto. But if anything, I think this really depends on Baltimore's long-term commitment, whether they're going to rebuild, whether they're going to actually try and form a team. Baltimore, let's be real, they were a one-hit wonder. 2 years ago, they shit the bed mightily in the playoffs when they got swept by the Kansas City Royals. The baby bird movement, started with Adley, then here comes Gunnar, Jackson Holiday. That was supposed to be a little movement, a baby bird movement that obviously failed. It looks like Baltimore could be going towards a rebuild of sorts if they can't get anything out of Gunnar. It's a shame to see because honestly, I don't know what the hell happened. It seems as these prospects just couldn't get out of that hype. It seems as if they were just hyped and nothing more. Obviously, like I said, Gunnar hasn't been having a good season. He obviously in his 5 seasons with Baltimore, he's actually been slashing a 269, but that's really about it. He hasn't been all that, but I mean, pretty much you could put him in that same category as Adley, even though Adley's a little more important at the position, even though he's a catcher. But still, if Gunnar wants to have big money, big pay, then he's got to step up his game. Because watching him right now, it's kind of cringe. But like I said, Boris is his guy. So, I mean, whatever Boris wants, he gets. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens because Gunnar Henderson is a young shortstop who obviously is, I believe, at the age of 27. He's still got a bunch of years to go. He should be in his prime, still is in his prime, but yeah. Let's talk about a team that got their ass whipped. I believe every MLB fan was excited about this, including myself. The Dodgers got swept by the Cubbies. Oh, man. I was so happy about this. The Cubs got them in a 3-game series at Wrigley, and they actually defeated Tarek Skubal in his LA debut a few days ago. The Dodgers currently are on a 6-game skid. Not only that they lost to the Cubs this past week, this current week, but they got swept over the weekend by the Red Sox, which was also great. That was beautiful to see. What the hell happened, huh? The almighty villain of, the Thanos of baseball, their best lineup in baseball, they're struggling? Wow, crazy, man. Oh my God. They're much hated. They are very much hated. They're not the Yankees, but I mean, the Yankees back in the days were hated like crazy. They still are now, but I don't think they're as hated as much compared to what the Dodgers are in this current day. Let's see if they can turn that around, man, because there was a point in the season where they were the best in baseball. Not only that in general, but they were the best in the NL. But obviously, they are currently now trailing third behind Milwaukee and Atlanta. Milwaukee looking great right now, and of course Atlanta, so shout out to both teams. They are away tonight, starting against the Diamondbacks will be Roki Sasaki on the mound, but can they turn things around? I don't know, but it would be nice to see them get their ass whipped by the division rival Arizona Diamondbacks. Oh man, I love it. Since I just mentioned Roki Sasaki pitching against the mound, let's talk about a pitcher actually. Gabe Spear, I think his name is, was suspended 3 games after throwing at Gleyber Torres just a few days ago. Cal Raleigh this actually happened in the eighth inning, by the way. Cal Raleigh was plucked in the seventh inning by a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Spear actually avenged his teammate and hit Torres, and Raleigh had words with him, with even Torres coming at him saying, "At least I have hits." And I was like, oh shit. Next thing you know, freaking all the benches cleared and so. Spear was actually ejected from the game, and so was manager Dan Wilson. No punches were thrown, though. I will say that, even though I do love a good fist fight in a game, one of my favorite ones to ever watch was Harper versus Strickland on Memorial Day, with just all the teams going at it. Oh, it's awesome. I love it. Torres was actually the fourth Tigers pitcher hit after Green, McKinstry, and Max Clark were hit by Brian Wu earlier in that game. Spear was actually suspended 3 games. And as of right now, he actually still is appealing it. Dan Wilson was only suspended 1 game. And his suspension's all clear to go now. Because he actually he couldn't appeal it, but he actually used his he had a suspension game yesterday in that season finale against Detroit, in which Detroit whipped their ass. I believe it was 11-0. But yeah, Dan Wilson's all ready to go. Spear is still appealing the ban, but it is what it is. Let me tell you something about this, guys. I love the fact that Gabe Spear avenged freaking Cal Raleigh, man, because he stood up for his teammate and was just like, hey, you know what? I'm going to freaking pluck at this guy, man. Screw him. And so he just freaking went at it, and then he was just like, yeah, you know what? Bring it on, B. I'm going to come kick that ass. And just, it was awesome. I was just like, you know what? I'm like, that's taking a bullet right there. That's taking a bullet for your teammate, man. For a team that's been underwhelming this year, I expected them to be so much better, but shit happens. Shit happens. What are you going to do? Second half of the season, let's see if they turn it around. It's just a rough go for the Seattle Mariners right now. Maybe after this, we start seeing a win streak or something. I don't know. Let's talk about Garrett Crochet. Garrett Crochet has been out for so much of the season, for probably a good, 80% of the season? 85% of the season? He's going under a lat/shoulder injury. The Red Sox ace has been just on the IL for a very long time. Luckily, he's had guys such as Sonny Gray, Ranger Suarez, Peyton Tolle, at one point he had Conley early on there, but he's in Washington. And, Jake Bennett and such. He's had the rest of the rotation carry him. Gotta love it. Gotta love it when you got veteran/rookie support helping you out. Because if those guys weren't doing much, then the Red Sox season would pretty much be lost. They wouldn't be where they're at right now. So the thing about Garrett Crochet is he might be making a return, but to the bullpen? There was a quote on here from a reporter, and here's what he told him. He said, "There's no ego about it. It's something I've done before. If I could help us achieve the goal, I don't really care what role is." And an update on him, he has resumed throwing from 50 to 60 feet on flat ground from interim manager Chad Tracy. I love the spirit that this man has, but last year he was acquired in a trade. And not too long after that, he got paid a beautiful 6-year deal, which actually kicked in this year. And you know what happened? He landed on the IL. Usually, a big contract as such, you're either guaranteed to be on the IL or you underperform your first year. Whatever. You guys get the gist of that. But obviously, he's on the IL, so I am a little nervous just about this contract. But here's the thing. The Red Sox did not pay Garrett Crochet huge money to be a reliever. They paid him starting pitcher money. As he deserves, because he was solid for the Chicago White Sox, and he was solid in his first year in Boston, which, as of right now, he's in his second year, but they paid him that starting pitcher money. You're a starting pitcher, man. But honestly, the way that I look at it as of right now, when I saw this, I thought to myself, you know what? If it's short term, then fine. Let it happen. If it's not him doing much, if it's just him in an inning or two, then okay, I'm fine with it. But if this is something going forward as a long-term plan, no. Then at this point, we might as well have you back in the rotation. Or, you know what? Might as well not have you back because the starting pitching seems to be fine without you. I would love him back. Obviously. Obviously, do not get that twisted, everybody. I just hope that he comes back to full strength. It seems as he's making progress, and I love that for him. But if anything, I want him back in a starting pitcher way. I would love that. But like I said, short term, being a reliever for an inning or two, I'm okay with that. But I prefer starting pitcher role, in my opinion. But I would love him back if anything, I think he's coming back, if I had to guess, maybe late August, September. That would be perfect for him to be back, especially if the Sox are still in playoff contention, which of course they are more than likely still going to be. They are 63-51 in a stacked AL East, and as of right now, they are, I believe, second place in the AL wildcard, which they are also in there with New York Yankees and the Cleveland Guardians. They are holding their own, especially without him. So, I mean, I just hope that when he eventually gets back in there, that they keep things up when he gets back. Just a little tidbit here. Actually, I will be going to the Red Sox game tonight against the A's. Guys, pray for me on this one, but I'm actually going to arrive early, around 5 o'clock, just so I can catch Nick Kurtz. I know he's on the IL right now, but I hope he's actually there with the team, because I'm going to try and get an autograph signed. I have an A's hat over there. I'm going to see if he can get it signed, or I'm going to bring a baseball with me, have it signed. Maybe even a picture, picture with him would be awesome. That would make my summer. That would be awesome. And I would die. Man. I'm excited just thinking about it, but I'm trying not to get my hopes up. Anyways, guys, that is it for episode 25 of Showcase Central. Leave a like and comment down below if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to Showcase Central. Ladies and gentlemen, you have yourself a great weekend. I will see you on Monday for more news, more rumors, and have a great one, everyone. Take care.